A very, very, very good afternoon, everybody out there. Your Warrior Junior is here for you. I hope you like the thumbnail on this one. I just thought I would do something a little different. Why not, right? Why not? Not for the kids. So, the topic. Does $1 million body cost $1 million? Hmm. Kind of an interesting segue, when you think about it. You know, a lot of questions that I ask, or that I post, that I talk about, there's no yes or no answer. There's no. It's just open. It's an open question. It's an open-ended question. So let's jump in. Let's jump in. Why not? Okay. Well, the first thing is, what's $1 million body? What's $1 million body? Is it Ronnie Coleman in his prime? Is it Dave Batista? Is it Arnold when he was on stage? Do you have to be that big? I don't know. Is Jack LaLanne? I mean, is it Frank Zane in his prime? And is it any of these people? Or maybe it's all the people. Maybe it's all of them. John Cena. You know, um, you have to first take into consideration the power of anabolics. Now, of course, everybody just says steroids when you throw out anabolics, but you have to understand it's more than that. It's more than that. There's different stuff, that people take. They take, you know, HGH, whatever, growth hormone, serostim, whatever, different shit. There's a lot of different shit. Um, Now the thing is, some people $1 million body is, what they would consider, do natural means, that you can build this real lean, really cut physique, without using any of that shit. It's which definitely can be done. You can look up a lot of dudes that just do calisthenics, and they're just like really fucking, washboard abs, solid, boom. Um, but they don't have that blown up kind of effect that the anabolics give you. You can pack on muscle. I mean, without that stuff, but you know, some of these guys that I mentioned, there's just no way. Big Papa Pump, um, he looks a little bit different now, but he was big. Jesus, holla if you hear me. So, but I don't want to get stray off too off topic because important to discuss what I talk about. So, there's $1 million body of Jay Cutler, not the football player, but the former Mr. Olympia. Does $1 million body cost $1 million? It can. It can. And let me give you an example of how it can. Jay Cutler talked about this. He said he could spend 100,000 a year just on food, and I'm sure this guy, it's like eats the best stuff, but he goes bulk shopping too, Costco, whatever. There's these dudes that are that size, they can fucking eat. Take my word for it. Um, so if you let's just say you spend 100,000 a year just on food, um, how much is he spending on top of that for anabolics or whatever he's taking? And then how much? What about supplementation on top of it? So now I didn't say you spend $1 million a year, but I'm saying, could you spend $1 million to try to get to, like, something that's, yeah, it's very possible. Now a lot of these guys are getting, I don't want to stray too much into anabolics because that's not really the topic, but a lot of these guys have connections where they get their stuff. They have cool, quote unquote, cool doctors, that, and they might have insurance that might cover test, testosterone, cypionate growth, or any type of other anabolic. They might go to Mexico to get DECA, or something. I've never used any of this stuff, but I've always been kind of fascinated by it. So I did my research on all this stuff. I thought it was interesting, um, because you know I was a bodybuilder. Now you don't have to be 275 pounds to be a bodybuilder. That's the misnomer. Um, there's a woman that she's 70 years old. Um, she's like 145 pounds, really phenomenal shape. But she's a bodybuilder. She changed her body, like sculpted. So, that's the thing, you know. Okay, so the thing is that, yeah, I mean, it can be an expensive hobby. Let me tell you, the gym membership or whatever is going to be your cheapest cost. You know, think about, let's say, whatever, I don't know, if you're spending $40 a month, $50 a month, $75 a month, 100, 200, Equinox, like 250 a month, whatever. Look at that. But good nutrient dense food, quality stuff, and I'm not talking about eating out. I'm just talking about buying. Okay, boom. Like, look, I'm not that big, but I can eat. And I just don't eat cans of tuna. Like, let's just say for breakfast, I mix it up, but I can go through the canister of oatmeal, liquid egg whites. I had a couple of GP sausage. My ex-girlfriend, she's got GP, general population, general public. The banquet, those little sausages. Mashed potatoes I had with so, and I put butter, a little milk in there, and milk can only last so long, goes bad fairly quickly. So I know it's like we're talking nickels and dimes. $2 for the thing of the mashed potatoes, $1 for small milk, $1.89. The butter, it's like four, like a little block. It's like $4. The eggs, the liquid egg whites, oof, that's the cost. One little carton, like $5. 5.29, whatever, Pavilions where I go, and I can burn through one of those cartons in about 2 to 3 meals. Closer to 3 meals, close to three. I eat a good amount of egg whites. Uh, like carrot juice. I love carrot juice, and I get like it's not a half gallon, but a big. On sale it's like $5. Usually 6.50. I can power through this stuff. It's not you know when your body's anabolic. Like you can um, got some deal on some veggie spaghetti. Um, Barilla, I think Barilla, they make this veggie spaghetti, and it was like a 1 pound pack for like $1.25. And I buy four of them, whatever. I don't eat a pound in one sitting, but I eat about probably three-quarters of the box I can do in one sitting. I also like the basil. You put the basil on there. That's expensive too. I forget the company that makes it, but it's like not Bertolli, uh, Bertoni or something. They make this really good pesto. You put on top, and fuck, like a container, a decent size. It's like $7, $8. Now I know it costs you $1 million, but I'm just saying, this shit adds up. If you eat quality, you eat quality. I didn't even get into lunch. Lunch has always been kind of a weird meal for me. Um, Sometimes I call it a holdover meal, um, because I've always kind of had issues with, that type of eating. When I get up, I know kind of what I like after the gym, and then mid afternoon is always kind of a weird, I had a can of tuna. I have some spinach leaves. I might have that in a little bit. I got this big thing, $5. And then dinner always varies. I can do spaghetti, or I can go, to pasta or chicken. I've been doing grounded at Foster Farms, or like meat. I buy it in a pack, or like a little block. I forget what company. It's like a Open Nature, I think it's called. It's like, sometimes about $5, $6. So I can do, I'll do either, mostly I like chicken because of density. I'll do turkey sometimes, or I'll mix in a pot. I'll put chicken, beef, or like turkey, constantly, because I know they all don't cook the same, but they cook kind of close. So, I'll do that, and then the sides, I like these veggies that are prepared already that you just can nuke. Um, I think Green Giant has this one really good. It has like cauliflower, carrots, broccoli, and like a potato in there, and it's like 250, a bag. I eat the whole thing. I'll make like a thing of rice too and nuke it. I'll get that Trader Joe's, and I also like these small sweet potatoes at Trader Joe's, like $2 for a bag. You don't get that many in there for $2. Supposed to be 2 pounds, Um, so I'll pick up like a couple bags of those. I know this like a couple bucks, but that shit kind of adds up, man. I didn't even get into the actual work. The workouts, man, I do are hellacious. I mean, Conor McGregor talked about, shit can make you crazy. Like driving yourself as hard as you can. People think you're insane. I can't show you what I do at the gym. There's no cameras allowed. I know people record in there, but dude, I am a little beast. I told you my shirts get soaked. After a good workout. And I've been staying in there longer. I used to make my workouts just 1 hour, boom, get out. But I'm not bodybuilding per se, like when I used to. I am, but in a way I am, because I'm doing. It's like, well, are you trying to cut? Are you trying? Hey, why can't you do both? Don't let this stigma of this. You can only do this. You can't do that. You can't be this. You can't be that. Don't let that shit get to you. What I do in the gym, man, boy, I hope you're ready. Holy shit, I should write down everything because it's a fucking lot. Um, after my stretching, I go right into in my stretching, and then I do like a you know I use light weights sometimes during my upper body stretching. So, and then my push-ups are at an incline, when I'm warming up, and I lift one of my legs intermediately through like 50 push-ups, one leg, like straight up in the air. I mean, you could feel the total difficulty in your when you're pressing. So I'm at an angle doing incline push-ups, and or maybe decline. I'm not sure. You know, my feet elevated, and then I take one of my feet and I elevate it as far as I can. I do that for 10 reps. I'll do the other foot for 10 reps and finish off with the push-ups. And this is like warm up, man. My God. So then after like my legs are warmed up, after stretching, I do kind of like, football players do when they, I don't know what it's called. They move their legs really rapidly. Um, shuffle. Dude, I'll shuffle all the way down. There's like AstroTurf. So I shuffle all the way down and I'll alternate. I'll turn my body around. I mean, I shuffle backwards, shuffle forward to the side. I mean, I'm talking like, and then I get like to a sumo squat and try to like turn around. Um, then I will work on the heavy bags with my kicks and my punches. for like a good solid 15 minutes at least. Um, then I move into like I'll start doing some ab work. They got like monkey bars where I can get my feet up to the bar. I used to not be able to do that. I can do it now, where you're hanging and then your feet come up and touch the bar over your head. I can hit about 6 reps. Now, the grips, the thing is not really good, and I'm kind of paranoid because I'm scared if I slip and my feet are up like this, I am going to be in some serious trouble. But what happens is through your experience, you should be able to know, you know, what you can do, what you're capable of. Once you have a decent amount of power in your body, you should be able to control many movements, many actions, many things you do. I'll do lots of shit for abs, lots, and lots. You see Bruce Lee where he lifts his legs up and he's got his hands down. I hold something like a medicine ball, and I try to get that medicine ball off the ground as my legs are coming up. It's extremely difficult, pretty difficult for me. I can do it sometimes, but I just focus on feeling the burn in the abs and the pressure. And then there's like, I know there's windshield wipers you can do, move your legs back and forth. I can do a couple of those. It's really hard, control of everything and really getting in there. Um, I'll go back on those monkey bars. I will do, I'll get my hands the way that the bars are kind of close. I get my hands about this far away on each bar. Now there's a bar in the middle. I can't go straight up because I'll hit my head on the bar. So do 2 in between bars. I'll do 2, and then I'll do about, see if I can hit like 12 reps. It's kind of hard. I can do it. Come down, and then I'll do oblique work where you just knee raises with holding on the bar. I'll do that. Then what I'll do is I'll take a dumbbell. I'll put it in between my legs, like, varying weight, 30 to 45 pounds. I've done it with 45, but it's fucking just a lot. I told you the bars are only about like this far apart. So I'll put my hands in between like 2 of them. I'll climb up and I put the weight in between my legs. And the weight's like, the circumference of the weight is about this much with the bar. So I'm able to hold it in between my legs. Not comfortably, but I'm able to do it. So I'm able to climb up, and then like before I start the exercise, I'll put the weight and hold it in between my legs, and then I'll try to do as many as I can. Being hit like 5 or 6. I come down, I drop the weight, and make sure there's nobody really that close. I've never had a problem with that. Then I'll try to just do like with no with no weight. I'll do a couple more. I'll do then they have the Olympic rings. I will take like a push-up bar so I can step on it, and I will try to get up, extend, and hold. I can do that. I can't do anything more than that. It's just too hard between the balance, But I'm able to get the ring and get up fully extended. I know the iron cross move. That would be the ultimate to hit that. I'm not nowhere near close to that because I stood on the bar just trying to hold the iron cross thing, and I'm like, my God, I don't know what kind of power or what you fucking need to be able to hold that. You got to be Mr. Olympia or something like that. But that probably takes a shitload of years of dedication and practice. Incredible testament to, I don't know what the fuck, what it takes to be able to do that. But I will use those rings. I will try to prop my feet up. I will take like there's a thing. It's like a tube, weighs like 4 pounds, and it's about like, I would say about 3.5 feet high. I will position it and I will try to get my heels up on it, both heels, and I will hold the Olympic bars and I will try to do like up to 20 reps and it feels like you're warming up your your biceps and what I call the tie-in. I don't know what this is called. The area between your forearm and your bicep. I call it the tie-in. Um, so this gets all warmed up by just using those rings. Takes all the pressure off everything else and just focusing on warming up the arms. So it's just really hard to do for some people to do regular pull-ups, or chin-ups or whatever. So I recommend that exercise. I know cheating, this and that. Hey, don't worry about what other people think. Worry about trying to get stronger, get better, because that's how you build your body. That's how you know, for the most part, somebody that's in great shape, the shape of their body. If they're taking anabolics, it's one thing, but if they're doing the hard work that I do, it's another story. I don't know. I've always wondered if people that are on gear and they don't really work out, I wonder if they feel like they're phony or something. I don't know. Um, I saw this one guy, I was going to say clown, but there's this one dude, that I've seen with these little dogs he walks around, and he's got like these bowling ball shoulders. And he wears these shorts and he has no legs, there's no calves or nothing, it's like, see, he has no, when I mean by that, he's not paralyzed. It's just that his upper body is like, his shoulders and his back is like really thick, but he doesn't have like really, it's just it's from somebody that it's just taking. They're not doing the work, um, and it looks like ridiculous because you know you can't you're not gonna pull one over on me, man. Like I could tell when somebody there's like I don't know what it is. I have a sense, like when I look at somebody and they're like a real lifter and they take. Don't get me wrong, but if somebody takes and they don't work out, for the most part, like I don't know, like depending if they're site injecting or something, um, look like really, really ridiculous. Giant. They call it bar big when you have this giant upper body and your legs aren't filled out, to match. Or muscle proportion is completely out of place. Like I think Dexter Jackson talked about, he really wouldn't do any trap work because they would get, way out of proportion to the other size of his body. It just wouldn't. You have to understand something. These guys are, competitive professional bodybuilders, and when, you have to understand you're going to be judged. I know it's subjective, but you know, you're on stage, and these judges know what they're looking for, and the judges represent. They're the ones who decide who's going to win. Who's going to take home the title, and it's not a it's a big deal. These Mr. Olympia contests or any bodybuilding contest that's serious for these people. My God, think about what they put themselves through to get contest ready. I mean, that's just one thing. Now, of course, the gear is a tremendous help. You're on stage. You have to basically be a muscle dense walking anatomy chart, if that makes any sense. And that is like very, very difficult to do. I mean, you see somebody that doesn't eat, like they're emaciated, their skin and bones and stuff like that. That's what happens when you don't. Now, can you imagine being dense? Now you see people that are just big, right? But they have no definition in their muscles. Well, can you? What they're looking for is basically, can you imagine like a lean 250-pound dude? But you could see every. I mean, it's just like it doesn't exist, but it exists because of the gear and what these guys put themselves through with the diet and everything for, it's like taking somebody that's like 300 pounds and when they get on stage, I mean, they're like 250 lean and just every muscle's defined. I mean, that's like it's incredible, like to be able to have that discipline, and be able to get there. And it costs a lot. So if they're paying for all this gear and shit, so when I said is $1 million body costs $1 million, it's not a far fetched statement. Okay, there could be truth to it. But for the most part, no. You know, like $1 million body is of course it's subjective. It's a vague statement. Who's to say what $1 million body is? I gave you in the beginning of this. I talked about all these examples of people that you could say, oh, Lou Ferrigno, $1 million body. Arnold, whatever. You could throw out all the names and everything. Dave Bautista, all those people, but it's all subjective to um, what you think is, or what whoever thinks, or what they think, or anything. Now, what's not subjective is $1 million. $1 million is $1 million. It doesn't matter what somebody thinks about anything. That's a fact. Okay, so that's why this topic is an open ended. It's you just it's all subjective. To say what it is. All the names I mentioned of all these people are what I would consider very successful in their own right, due to their physiques. Whatever, bar none, whatever they used or they use whatever. The bottom line is they have worldwide notoriety. Um, Everybody, that I mentioned, every name. Um, and most of them, they don't just take. I mean, they are very, very knowledgeable in bodybuilding, very, very knowledgeable. Um, I have seen people that just take, and they don't go to the gym or any. I remember one guy I saw at the market. He goes, I haven't seen the inside of a gym in years. I don't know if he was implying he works out at home or something, but I was very impressed by, just from probably what his pharmacology, probably eats very clean, but you know, those very, very powerful compounds, and very, very powerful chemicals. And it's something that I was always like kind of curious about, but one thing I wouldn't do. Personally, I do not like needles. Um, I just don't. I just don't. Period. So that's the end of the story right there. Um, Now I know there's oral anabolics, but many of them, stanozol, whatever. They are 17 alpha alkylated, which is very highly toxic to the liver. Um, you're rolling the dice here, by taking a lot of these oral anabolics and stuff. You know, just for me, how much protein powder, how much of the powders I went through, I wound up having to have kidney stone surgery. So, you know, that was basically enough for me. I did try SARMs, and that was only after, uh, working my ass off, and just I was not able to get it. I was about 185, and I could not go any further. And I did notice, I did stack and used some different SARMs. It was by MP Labs. There was like a YK11, I think. Not real Trenbolone or something, but not not the stuff Um, I tried like three or four of them. One of them, I forgot what it even was, but I tried this one and I started peeing. I don't know if it was blood or something, or red coming, and I immediately stopped it. And I heard the same result from somebody else. So I got off that one immediately, and thank God my urine went back to a normal kind of color. It was very scary. It scared the shit out of me. So I don't know what the hell happened there. Um, but the other ones, no real side effects or anything. And I felt like, you know, I got a little bit more fullness out of this stuff. Felt like I didn't have to go to the gym as much. to get like a good pump kind of thing. But no real tremendous weight gain, no real blowing up kind of thing off of them. I don't know if I really gained any more weight. Maybe a couple pounds, nothing really substantial. Um, so that's my SARM story. I do right now. I start taking a Tribulus again. I do feel a little bit more power from it. I don't know if it's just my eating is good or something. I didn't even finish telling you the kind of workout what I did. I told you about 15% of what I did, what I even today. Um, in the main workout room, they have like different types of pull up and chin up bars where the angles of the bars and they have better grip on there. So I'm able to, when I pull up, get my feet pointed straight out as I'm going up. Hit like 5 or 6 reps of those. You really feel it in your upper abs with that. Um, I try to do a lot of different shit. I do some, in the main room, 2 heavy rows, 1 arm, and then I'll take a heavier weight and just grab it with, both hands and pull it in. I think you can hit a lot of the back with that. I've done plenty of cable rows, all different types of shit. Um, I'm definitely not as dense as I used to be at all. But I'll tell you something, even in my peak, I never did any calisthenic work at all. And I never did any ab work really, never. So I feel like I'm way more cut. Well, I don't know, man. When I was at my peak, I was pretty dense. And so a lot of stuff was kind of cut, but my abs were not as strong. No way, no way. I never did really any ab work. But I did a shitload of squats and lunges and stuff. I don't do that now. Um, I wanted to be just like, because I thought, I just wanted to be big because I said, if I could just get the weight, my natural density, my natural thinness, then the weight would wrap around the muscles really nicely, if I could get that density. But genetics is very hard. I'm only 5'9", and I've always been very, very small, very light. Um, high school, I think I remember I was like 111 pounds in like 11th grade. And you would think, wow, but I was a little shorter, so, and I was pretty solid, so even it wasn't like anemic, like you would think 111, no, it's nothing. Um, it was, it's a little, but for my height, whatever, it wasn't that bad. Um, I think when I graduated high school, even I was around 120. But I started getting into the working out in my senior year, so I didn't blow up or anything, but um, I remember then in like community college, junior college, I think I hit like 130, 140, 140. I was not 150. No way. I remember. Um, but I remember I was lifting too, and my forearms were starting to get big, even at like 100, 140, 145 pounds at 5'9", because I was solid. I was always really solid. I was never, I was always on the leaner side. I think I hit, boy, I didn't hit 150 pounds till probably somewhere in the mid 90s or something. Like it was, I remember, yeah, I went in the gym, started working out, and I went on a scale. I remember I hit like one, and I hit 150. I was like, whoa, and me like, working out at 150 was pretty solid. I wasn't like, it was not bad. Um, when I got to 175, that was you know a huge, huge achievement. I remember I was like in the 160s, 166, but then, I started focused. That's when I really started on the protein powder in the late 90s. I got to like 175. And, then it's like, okay, you know, started to look. I had started to have a little density. I noticed that density would come in around 175. I got damn near close to about 200, I would say. And that was it. That was it. There's that's as heavy as I was able to like, kind of fill out my jeans, like because of all the leg work and everything, squats and um, yeah, 200. I don't care what anybody says. For me, if you're naturally thin and you're solid, 200 pounds is pretty fucking, you know. Look, Frank Zane won 3 Olympias. He was like 5'9", my height, and he was like under 200. I think he came in Olympia one time a little over in the off season, but it's not bad. I mean, you say, oh, you wouldn't even qualify now. Yeah, well, you know what though? Look at his fucking videos. I don't give a fuck about some of these clowns today and this craziness. Let me tell you something. You show most people Frank Zane, and they will say, "That's a fucking that guy looks fucking good." Okay, that's like a universal acceptance of a really good physique. Um, you know, that ass. And you know what? Whether you say, you know what? Let me tell you something. He won 3 Olympias, 77. Arnold wasn't in 77 to 79. And let me tell you, when Arnold came out of retirement in 80, Zane was in it too. And he could hold his own. Now, he didn't win. They gave it Weider's show. They gave it to Arnold for coming back to take the 80 Olympia. I think they gave Zane fourth place. Let me tell you something. The dude could stand next to Arnold, okay, on stage and not be a joke. What does that tell you? That tells you that dude is badass, okay? So I've always had my respect for Frank Zane, that's for sure. Um, and many people do too. So, I focused on that. I wanted to see how dense, the size I could get because I had dreams. I wanted, be in the WWE and everything like that. But let me tell you something, man. And I have a picture with me. I showed you with me and Chris Jericho when I was damn near close. I was, about 200, and he was, I thought he was probably off cycle or something, but I was bigger than him. I have a picture right next to him. His head was bigger than mine, but I was pretty fucking, no joke. Had glasses though, back then. You know, the physical is one thing. I don't care how big you are. There's plenty of bodybuilders out there. If you don't have any ring presence, if you're not a character, and you're not bankable, like they don't care, then I don't care. You can be the biggest, the small, it don't fucking matter. Okay, I can name 5 world champions that were 5'9" or under, but they were no joke. You know, Benoit, what he did. You know, he can go to hell, and he probably is there. Um, Jericho, I just mentioned him. Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio. Um, there's others, but anyway, you know what I'm going at with that. That's is what it is. I always enjoyed. I've always had a passion, but that's something you either got to be. That's why all those guys, they were young, and I guarantee they're taking. I was watching this Tough Enough, not Tough Enough. I'm sorry, tryout at the WWE Performance Center. Oh my God, there was this one dude. This guy was blown up like Goodyear blimp. I mean, I could not believe the size of this guy. Like, he was all juiced up to the gills, jacked up. And Jesus, it's like ridiculous. And that's the problem. They want to stand out, be some, but ridiculous. It don't matter. Don't matter if you don't have no character. You can't pull it over on the crowd. You can't talk like The Rock or Stone Cold or nothing. You just there's no guarantees and nothing. There's no ease. Um, but I've always been fascinated with like strength and muscle, power, shape. I've always loved that shit. I've always thought it's interesting. You know, Joe Weider said that the bodybuilders are the doers, in the world, and it's kind of cool. Like when you walk around, feel like you're strong and you can hold yourself. I didn't even talk about I talked about the fighting I do, but think about that. If somebody fucks with you and you can defend yourself, that's a great confidence feeling. Not that you could hurt somebody, not at all, but that confidence that you know, hey, I can take care of myself. Like I really don't want to fucking inflict any pain on anybody or get into it, but I can if provoked. And what I mean by provoked is not somebody saying, "Yeah, yeah." I'm talking about somebody try to fucking physically grab you and do something to you. That's when, you know, unleash the beasts. It's important to not get stale with your workouts. You can plateau fairly easily if you got a little bit of time under your belt. Um, that's why I experiment and I change things up a lot. But well, it just depends on the exercises and things. But love to shock the body, give it shock the shit out of it. Wow, remember the first time I tried holding a plank push up. Oh my god, geez, felt like my upper chest was gonna, the pressure on it. It's unbelievable. I think I have yet to this day to ever see anybody successfully hit a plank, hold a plank position push up. Arms on the ground, head where you're parallel, body's parallel, and your arms are supporting all of it. Your arms just they have to be back for the balance, and they got to be back far enough. And every time I put my arms back far enough, I fall forward. Now I'm able to kind of like get my arms when I'll twist the angle, so you're face more outwards, and then I'm able to push my body up with my arms back. I know it's kind of complicated it's hard to explain, but it's like the hardest push-up you can possibly imagine. Just think about your hands back to where your waist is, and then try to push up, doing a push-up that way. Think about how fucking hard that is. I try shit like that. I love to fucking I love to do different things. I never really had good buys. I think yeah, my buys are pretty good now because I use those rings and lots of pull ups and stuff. So pulling up, you're getting buys, from that. Think about this, like when you're pulling. Now, my tries used to be way bigger. I mean, my arms used to be way bigger than this. And because I did tries, I knew exactly how to hit them, and I could hit them at different angles with a shitload of pressure, and not just for using the rope down or rope overhead. I'm talking about getting on a Smith machine and doing closed grip bench presses with a fucking shitload of weight. Now, for me, shitload of weight is like 225. I could go even heavier than that when I was in my prime. But the pressure that you're putting on your tries, holy fuck! When you're using that kind of weight, they have to grow. They will. Um, the machine thing where you're pushing down, yeah, you might get a little something off that. Those closed grip bench presses, though, that's really the meat and potatoes of I did today. Even dips and stuff like that, weighted dips. Okay, that's good stuff too. I'll admit the weighted dips, but this kind of kickback stuff like that, you get a little something. But those closed grip bench presses, that's the real. We're talking, yeah. I would get a lot off that. Um, I would go as heavy as hell too. Never quite got up to Big Papa Pump size, but you know, my size, not bad. And that's really, what you should be thinking about. Don't compare yourself to, looking like somebody because everybody's genetics and what they're taking is completely different. Compare yourself to you, um, and make just make yourself happy. Build your own $1 million body. Don't compare yourself to John Cena, Big Papa Pump, Arnold, or whatever, whoever. I know they show them in the magazines. Man, I wish I could be like, hey, let me tell you something, man. Stuff these dudes are taking, man. I mean, and there's a big price to pay usually for it. and I just don't like that. There's no guarantee to be like that. I mean, I've seen guys that are fucking like this, and then a couple of years later, oh my God, it shrivel up into nothing. You know? Would you rather be that, or would you want that to happen to you, or would you rather just be kind of like, you know what? Okay, I never got like immense, huge, but still like, yeah, I've been strong consistently. I got a pretty damn, it's a good body. Plus, it's not like fucking, Hulk Hogan or whatever. I'd rather have that, man. I'd rather have that. Believe me, I said this many times. You could go damn far naturally if you put enough time in. But I mean, it's got to be. I'm talking some serious dedication. I'm not. I mean, dude, I don't bring a phone to the gym. I'm talking like that kind of dedication. I'm talking like, dude, you're there like on a mission and working to the maximum capacity, and your eating is good, your sleeping is good. I mean, I'm telling you, you do all that shit with good supplementation. Whew, boy, can you build one hell of a body. Let me tell you something. I guarantee you. There's no. I don't care how bad your genetics are or anything. With the right work ethic and all that shit combined, you could really. And there's gifts to everything. Whether you have a thicker bone structure, then you're built naturally for more power. If you're thin like me and don't not built for power, the muscles wrap around nicer. There's gifts. Every body has a gift. Like, and it's discovered when you train. Like you'll see it. You'll figure out. Like you know, some areas will develop a lot better than others, but it's just cool. That's what makes you unique and different than everybody else. Everybody has the same body, but it develops differently, for everybody. So if that makes any sense. So all in all, I guess, I could sum it up and say you could build your $1 million body for it doesn't cost $1 million is what I guess I could sum it up that way. I could sum it might feel like it the amount of work that you have to do. The real work, I mean, that's the shit. I mean, I'll get more into depth in that one day. I will finish off by saying, yeah, when I started, I got to the gym for like 6 a.m. and there was a pretty damn hot chick, and I her completely. She did leave, and I took a good look at her before she left. Yeah, she was really nice. I just tried to show that I wasn't like everybody else. Didn't get any real. She didn't hit on me. Didn't did nothing. It's like damned if you do, damned if you don't. Damn, damned if you do, damned if you don't, huh? Yeah, she was hot. She was really fucking nice. But I focused on myself. Oh well. All right. Hope you enjoyed this one. Hope you enjoyed the picture of me, the thumbnail. Tried to show what all the hard work can add up to so far.